Hey, it's Dave Brown here, host of Now with Dave Brown on AMI. Check out this latest highlight from the show. Before we introduce our next guest, let's take a listen and have a watch and a listen to a clip of a book trailer of a new memoir coming out this Friday called Holding On by Letting Go by Heather Hutchison.
I don't know when I first realized my life was optional. Something I could hold in my own two hands and take away when I saw fit. As I lie awake, I scan back through the years, searching for answers and reasons I may never fully understand. Realistically, it was probably a perfect storm of circumstances that came together with disastrous timing to lead me to this hospital bed.
Holding On by Letting Go comes out this Friday and is written by Heather Hutchison. And Heather joins us now to discuss the book that is dropping on Friday in both paperback and ebook. And Heather joins us this morning from Vancouver Island. Hey, good morning, Heather. Thank you so much for making time to be with us today.
Thanks for having me.
So, Heather, let's jump right into here. The memoir spans across decades and even continents. What will listeners get to learn about you in this book?
Honestly, it starts pretty young, like right off at the beginning, really, of my birth, and then kind of moves through my school years and I guess, the barriers to access I faced growing up as a blind person, with access to education, job opportunities, schooling, all those kinds of things, how people treated me out in public. And yeah, just I guess how that all kind of eventually started to tie into the struggles I had with mental health, because it's just, it's a cumulative effect, right?
You spent some time during the pandemic putting this memoir together. How did the pandemic impact the way you wrote and what you were writing about?
I think I had a lot of time, obviously, to write. So it was a really good project to have something to be doing, something to work towards. And I guess it kind of came about because I was hospitalized close to the beginning of the pandemic for psychiatric care. And it was when I was in the hospital that I really kind of opened up to the fact that I was being given this kind of second chance. And I wanted to do something positive with it, to have something positive come out of a really difficult situation to hopefully help and educate others.
You've been a musician for years, which is a unique way to raise awareness about mental health, about disability, and to tell stories in a different way. What is it about this book that maybe goes beyond the way you've been able to storytell through music for all these years?
I think that when we write songs and tell stories through music, we can hide behind metaphors a lot. It doesn't have to be something that comes from our personal experience. It can for sure. But I think that line is a bit more blurred. In this memoir, it's 100% me, and I don't really hold back anything.
I'm curious, when you sat down and said, now it's time to write, and I'm going to do this memoir, what was going through your mind to communicate in that way that was so differently? Did you find the process to be difficult?
It was very difficult. Yeah, there were a lot of sleepless nights wondering, if this was the right thing to be doing. It's such a hard story. How will people react? But I made a promise to myself in the hospital that I would do it. So throughout the doubt and everything, I just kind of tried to keep that in the back of my mind, that this was a promise I made to myself, and it was really important to fulfill.
You've previously written that quote, recovery requires purpose. Has this book offered you some purpose?
Yeah, I think so for sure. It gave me a reason to get better, to get out of the hospital, something to do, something that made me feel like I could contribute. So yeah, I would say it gave me a huge amount of purpose.
It's no small undertaking to get in front of a keyboard and look at a blank screen. Was there a moment when the words started to pour off your fingertips? Was there some momentum that you were able to build as you were doing this? Because as you say, there were sleepless nights, but was there ever just a moment where things started to flow?
Yeah, I actually started writing it in the hospital, just even in my memory, and then I had my phone there, so I would just jot down little notes. And I would say that part of the book was actually the easiest to write, and it came together actually really quickly. That part, just getting down all the conversations and everything while it was still so fresh. And yeah, it's intimidating to sit there and look at a blank screen, but it just kind of did start to happen all at once, really.
You mentioned before that when you're storytelling through music that sometimes we can hide behind metaphors. When you're laying something like this out on the page and showing this vulnerability, even as someone who's performed in front of people, who can sort of face the critical eye and the critical ear, is it hard to be so vulnerable in such a lasting document?
Yes, it's incredibly hard. It's very scary. As you say, you face, even in music, some people are going to love it, some people are going to hate it. And when it's something so personal like this, it is really personal when somebody doesn't like it. So you just hope that it will reach the people that it needs to reach. And that has to be kind of the goal of everything. And that criticism really has to come secondary to what I'm trying to do here.
Now that you've done it once, and certainly it's hard to go back to necessarily the memoir but now that you've gone through the process of writing and publishing a book, would you do it again?
I don't know. That's a hard question. It was way more work than I ever could have anticipated. So I think an editor gave me really good advice once. She said, don't write a book because you want to write a book. Write a book because there's a story in you that you can't not share, that you have to get out. So I think if I was going to write something else, there would really have to be a reason to do it. Even fiction, just like a story that I had that I really wanted to communicate with people.
As I mentioned earlier, it's no small feat to accomplish this. It takes, as you say, a lot of time and a lot of effort, and there's a lot of editing too, right? You have to be thinking sort of beyond just that initial typing into the paragraph. So now I offer you congratulations for finishing the book and getting it to the point of publishing. Currently, the book's available on pre-order, but how soon can everybody get a chance to read it? Where can people go to access a copy?
They can go to Amazon to pre-order. You can pretty much pre-order wherever books are sold. You can also visit my website, heather-hutchison.com, and there's a list there of retailers.
Hey, Heather, it's been really nice to chat with you this morning. Thank you for making time for us. We're so appreciative. Best of luck with the book release, and hopefully there's a lot of great opportunities for your music to be heard coming down the pipeline soon as well.
Thank you so much.
That was musician Heather Hutchison, author of Holding On by Letting Go, which comes out this Friday, June the 4th. The memoir will be available on paperback and ebook and can be found anywhere books are sold. And of course, you can find out more, as Heather said, by visiting her website, heatherhutchison.com, HEATHER-HUTCHISON.com. But you know what I'm going to say to you, right? You know what I'm going to say to you. If you didn't get that written down fast enough, you can always visit our blog, ami.ca/nowblog, ami.ca/nowblog to find out more and track down those links. Do you want to dive into more conversations like this? Watch Now with Dave Brown weekdays at 9 a.m. Eastern on AMI TV or download the podcasts wherever you listen.